sun is shining along the rivers here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight we come to you from Highmark Stadium as the Pittsburgh Riverhounds play host to Birmingham Legion. Tonight's match is presented by Allegheny Health Network. With former U.S. Women's National Teamer Casey White, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight as we look at the Eastern Conference standings. Both of these teams right up there towards the top, trying to keep pushing.
And Birmingham Legion can jump into first place with a win. Pittsburgh Riverhounds can provide a little bit more separation from that playoff line if they were to get the 3 points. And then even a team like Tampa Bay Rowdies has done really well in the last 2 games, and they've really seen themselves move up the standings.
Well, so far this season, these teams have already played each other on the first day of the season. It was a 1-1 draw, Cronali and Mertz scoring the goals. But of course, when you think about this series history, so many intriguing playoff battles, including last year, the 2-2 draw, and then 10 rounds of penalty kicks. So these two teams, no doubt, have some history. And looking at some players to watch tonight, no one better than Albert Dequan scoring goals this year.
7 goals this season so far, and he scores in so many different ways. There's so much variety in the way he plays. 1v1 ability, in transition, he's an aerial threat. You've got to keep an eye on this guy.
He, of course, getting that brace last time out in the league against Monterey Bay, and looking to follow that up here tonight for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. On the other side, for Birmingham Legion, a former Riverhound, Nico Brett, is back.
With Pittsburgh, 32 goals in 2 seasons, but 3 goals already on this year for the Legion. But they came early in the season, so trying to get back into that form, he'll be a player that can really go forward in the attack this evening.
No doubt some fond years along the rivers in Pittsburgh, and looking to rekindle some of that goal scoring for Birmingham tonight. Well, it's Pittsburgh and Birmingham for the 2nd time already this season. These teams have some fun history. We'll see what tonight brings. Lineups and first kick are coming up next.
At AHN, we see you when everything's going great, and when that's not the case at all. We see you needing expert care every single day, and excited for all that's to come. At AHN, we see you.
Let's go, come on. I love a new color and a new game. I like to switch it up, wherever my mood takes me. I'm always just doing me. And today, I'm me loving the PA Lottery. The games have become a part of me. They make me happy. They get me excited. And when I want to try something new, I'll just go to another, and then another, and another.
There's a lot of love for the Pennsylvania Lottery. And when you see how fun it is, you'll understand why.
At Lovesac, we design furniture for life. Real life. Messy life. Life that changes and brings us together for movie night. A life where batteries run down and get charged up again. Because now, Lovesac Sactionals can be upgraded with Stealth Tech. And immersive surround sound by Harman Kardon hidden inside. Upgradable, washable, and guaranteed for life. Don't just hear it, feel it. At a Lovesac showroom near you.
The first thing I'm gonna do at the Museum of Play is scale the beanstalk. No, wait, the giant Etch-a-Sketch. Yes, maybe the video game arcade. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm riding the choo-choo. Whoop, whoop! Yeah. The Museum of Play really is the ultimate place to train.
Get it?
With so much to do and see, everyone loves the strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York.
Tonight's Eastern Conference matchup is presented by Allegheny Health Network. Back here in Pittsburgh, and of course, 2 men who have been part of the USL Championship for quite some time, Bob Lilly and Tom Sohn. 2 well-known figures in this league, and they lead their teams out here tonight as we will take a look at tonight's starting lineups. They are brought to you by Armina Stone, and We will start with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds here tonight, and of course coming off that big midweek win over the New England Revolution.
And you can't look at their lineup without talking about Dikwa, who's up top for them. But the wingback position also really important. DZ Harmon played a huge role in the last game versus New England Revolution in the Open Cup. Today, Blackstock comes in on the opposite side. Those two positions really important for this lineup.
We'll see what this Pittsburgh team can put out there today. As for Birmingham and Tom Sohn, quite a few changes.
Yes, and Corcoran and Lopez, really important positions there in the holding midfield role, just looking to stop the counterattack of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, but also Nico Brett coming in up top, and you've got to look at Tyler Pasher off that right side, a lot of speed, a lot of ability to go forward and make things happen.
And of course, Fanuel Kavita, he misses today due to that double yellow that he picked up in last week's game against Oakland, so he will not be there today for the Birmingham Legion. Of course, those laps presented by Armina Stone. And with that, we are just about set for kickoff here tonight. Well, it was a cloudy day pretty much all day here in Pittsburgh, and now the sun is shining and it is beautiful outside, 67 degrees. That is just about perfect for some soccer tonight along the rivers here in Pittsburgh. Second time these two teams are meeting already in this 2023 season. And in their familiar colors, Birmingham in all red and the black and yellow for Pittsburgh. There's our referee, Adam Kilpatrick. He is the man in the middle. We are just waiting on his whistle. There's the whistle, and away we go. A beautiful night in Pittsburgh for some soccer. It is the Riverhounds and the Legion tonight from Highmark Stadium. So glad you can be with us tonight, and a really fun matchup already as the flag goes up for offside. But these are the last two teams left in the U.S. Open Cup. Of course, Birmingham Legion getting that win this week against Memphis 901. A 3-0 win. Agudelo, Martinez, and Pasher scoring the goals. They will host Charlotte FC in a couple of weeks. As for Pittsburgh, they got that 1-0 win against New England, and they will host the Columbus Crew. So it's great that, one, they're into the round of 16, but two, they both get to host MLS teams, and that's what's going to make these next few weeks leading up to that so important.
It really is great timing for them to match up, not only getting really positive results through the Open Cup, but also just getting into really good form in the way that they're playing, with Birmingham getting back in the win column and using that game to do so. And Pittsburgh Riverhounds just starting to get more and more comfortable with the ball going forward.
Of course, I'm sure everybody on both of these teams will want to be in the lineup in 2 weeks' time, which means they're going to be pushing tonight in terms of performances. And of course, those coming off the bench as well. It's time to take a look at our keys to the game. They are brought to you by the premium light lager that embodies all things black and gold. I See Light.
For Pittsburgh, managing the space behind their back line is going to be really important. Birmingham has a lot of pace up top, a lot of different players that can look to expose that. So between the goalkeeper and the back line, they'll have to manage it. And for Birmingham Legion, the overloads in the wide areas, can they get their outside backs forward and try to draw out the center backs from Pittsburgh?
Interesting tactical battle between these two managers, and of course Birmingham with plenty of changes. Juan Agudelo, Enzo Martinez, Anderson Asidu, Colin Smith all on the bench tonight, and of course missing Fanuel Kavita as well. So a bit of a shake-up to the lineup for Tom Sohn, but expected of course with a midweek match just earlier this week. Santos trying to play it forward. It was flicked back and then comes all the way through for Matt Van Oekel, who of course gets the start in goal tonight for Birmingham. Missed about a month of the season due to injury, but returned to the lineup against Oakland last week. Birmingham trying to go right through the middle. Forbes picks. There's Pasher to break it up. Sliding challenge. And this is quickly won back by Mikey Lopez. Another player back in the lineup who has battled some injuries this year. There's Prosper Kasim trying to move it all the way out to that far side. He rolled across the top of the 18, poked away. It's still available in there, and Wegbo was chasing after it, but nothing doing in the end for Birmingham.
And that's that space in the wide area that's really important for Birmingham Legion, just to find the space where Minsa's running in behind. But Pittsburgh, to be fair, did really well to recover.
It's a foul and a free kick that will go Pittsburgh's way. We talked to Bob Lilly about that game in the midweek against New England. He said that's a win that builds confidence in the group, especially with rotation. Of course, the game all the way on the West Coast against Monterey Bay, a 2-2 draw on Friday, and then traveling to Foxborough to take on New England, but now back home. And he says they're back home for a nice little stretch here, and this is an opportunity for them to really take off this season.
And it's super important that they do start well at home as well. I think that just getting into a rhythm and just using the energy to play, but also can they still play in the same way they did where they controlled the ball and really created opportunities.
That was a foul there against Jake Roof. It's a free kick. Will go the way of the Riverhounds.
Who is that, Gage? To be fair, though, Jason, we like you to engage and just
trying to loft this forward and runs all the way through to Van Oekel. This is a Pittsburgh team that has already played 7 games on the road here in 2023. This is just their 3rd home game, so I guess they got those road games out of the way, if you will, as that took a deflection off a teammate there, but it is collected again. Pasher can look upfield. This is blocked out.
And you talked about the Riverhounds just getting that rotation of the roster that Bob Lilly's put in. In the last game versus New England, you had Kiza up top, right? Other players, not even Dikwa till later in the game. But it helps you as a coach to have that rotation, have players that are played in, that are scoring goals. So the longer the season goes on, you're going to need different people to contribute.
We've talked with Bob Lilly in past weeks. This is a Pittsburgh team that has had a bit of a revolving door now with no Alex Dixon, no Russell Cicerone, so some younger players have had to step up, so them getting that experience will be very crucial moving forward as they're able to win this back in a good area. It's Griffin. He's taken off the ball, his first home game back in a Pittsburgh shirt. A frenetic start to this one. As for Birmingham, it was a great start to the season. Couldn't have really scripted it any better. Wins in 3 of their first 4 games. And then, of course, that Open Cup win against the Chattanooga Red Wolves. But their last 2 league games, they've only scored 2 goals. They've conceded 7 overall. Against Miami, the 3-1 loss, and then against Oakland, a 4-1 loss in that one. So it's a Birmingham side trying to get things back on track as the defender slipped, but recovered well. Cronali able to get this away, and it nearly fell for Dikwa. Mertz out wide. This time Roof slips on this surface. It slipped in and just deflects back to Van Oekel. Great vision there on the pass, looking for Griffin.
Yeah, it was completely against the grain. That was so nice there in the middle from Bernardo Forbes. Like, as he's looking to the right side, just slipping that ball in, just really good from that midfield position.
Here's Roof. Again, looking for that long switch of play.
Hey, have Amy step out in front of my platform and shoot off.
Here's Vetsluts.
White balance. She's wearing all white. Try Amy, Eric.
Dos Santos for Blackstock. Mertz just lost his footing. He thought he was cut down. Now has to get back to his feet quickly. It's Pasher trying to turn the corner on Blackstock. He was fouled. The free kick will go Birmingham's way right in front of their bench.
And that's where you can see that just that little bit of acceleration from Pasher, what he can do with just a little bit of space. I kind of thought Blackstock might have gotten back in front and gotten a little bit of position there, but just so much space for Pasher to get into that he had to try to mitigate.
There's no doubt these two teams have some history going back to the playoffs. 2019, that big 7-0 victory for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds against Birmingham in their first ever playoff matchup. Of course, 2021, the game that never happened. Then last year, I guess it made up for that missed game with an epic 2-2 draw and then 10 rounds of penalties. It was Pittsburgh going through on that occasion as well. It's a Birmingham team that they've reached the playoffs in each of their first 4 seasons, but have yet to win a playoff game. So they've put together some good campaigns, but when it comes to that knockout tournament, they have not yet made their mark. Jamali Waite, the Jamaican international, will put this back into play. Already about 10 minutes gone in this one. Lofted forward again. And there's Waite again to collect. It looks like Birmingham's been looking for that long switch or that long ball over the top so far in the early going.
And that's something that can definitely work, but it looks like the Riverhounds are expecting that. So you have to kind of play in front of the lines, maybe in the half space a little bit more between the midfield and the back line, make the Riverhounds respect that. Then that long service can definitely be something that could impact the game later on, just as there starts to be more gaps that are created.
Well, we mentioned the interesting tactical battle with Pittsburgh, so many bodies in the middle and maybe outnumbering Birmingham in the middle of the field. So that's maybe a reason they're going over the top.
You're right, at different times it could be even so much as a 4v2 with the way that Birmingham looks to attack. So the Riverhounds would have the 4v2 advantage. So it definitely will work in their favor, but right now the Riverhounds are able to figure it out.
There's Blackstock, right off the chest of Cronali. Griffin flips it forward again. Early ball across, Dequa, flag stays down, Pittsburgh scores. The league leader, Albert Dequa, adds to his total. It's number 8 on this season, and it's 1-0 Riverhounds.
And that's how quickly that they're able to strike. You've got Blackstock off this left side with this ball in here. It gets deflected. Look at Griffin's vision, just finding them rotated forward. Dequa just getting in front. No one even close to Dequa on this. The one-time ball really catches the back line of the Legion off guard. You cannot leave him that wide open in the penalty area. This is exactly what's going to happen.
Albert Dequa, he has now scored in 3 straight league games. That is 4 goals in 3 games for Albert Dequa. He is on some sort of roll right now. Last year was his first double-digit goal season with 11. He already is 8, and we're not even through May. This has been a fantastic start to the season for Albert Dequa.
And he's just scoring in bunches. Like you said, it's coming all at once as well. These last few games, he's just in great form. And a lot of that is just how you're feeling, that confidence in the box. But what he does is he's just very quick to sort out where to be in the box. His runs are well-timed. He reacts quickly, and then he's got a finisher's touch. And you can see it on that. His reaction was just a little bit quicker than anybody else in the penalty area.
Now Pittsburgh coming forward again. Blackstock, this time he'll cut it in. Space at the top of the area. Forbes off to the far side, off the chest. And it was Van Oekel coming off his line to clear that one away. And Pittsburgh's able to keep it. Svetslut. Back again for DZ Harmon. Mertz. Slide that in behind, and it was broken up again. It's lofted forward, looking for the run of Nico Brett. to keep the ball. He'll get it right back. Trying to serve it forward for Pasher, and it's broken up. Youngster Corcoran. This is going to be a foul and a free kick upcoming for Birmingham. Really haven't threatened too much in terms of going forward in this game, but they'll have an attacking set piece that they take very quickly. And this one is cleared away. Looks like that may have stayed in play. It was, I guess, right on the line. The whole ball has to go out of play. According to the AR, it did not. And now Pittsburgh on the move once again, in space for Blackstock.
Not a bad decision just to keep the ball there. I think there's this natural want to go forward quickly, especially when you see all that space that Griffin was running into. But this allows Pittsburgh just to get a little bit more hold of the ball after getting that goal scored, but also allows more numbers to join the attack.
Part of the aesthetic here at Highmark Stadium, the river, and then you got the trains. Headed back centrally. Birmingham a chance to get a ball into the box. This one headed away as far as Corcoran. O'Malley for Roof. Roof cutting it in. Finding Wegbo, it's moved out wide. Pasher, space at the top of the area. Mikey Lopez, he'll have a hit. Skies it out of play.
It was a good spell of possession right here for Pasher and Roof, and then finding Lopez right at the top. Just didn't really look committed to the shot at all on that one. Instead of just going for power and getting on frame, tries to bend it in on the top corner and just gets away from it.
Trying to get the fans to move around a little bit, huh? You know what, I've never heard music during dead balls, but you know what? I don't hate it.
It got me moving a little bit.
I'm a fan. There's gonna be a whistle here. Player down. That is Mikey Lopez. Plenty of experience for Lopez. His 5th season already with Birmingham Legion. He's been here since the beginning, but first time with SKC, Orlando, NYC, San Antonio, and I feel like this, he's a Tar Heel.
Love that.
2011
love that.
national
if you
title
didn't say
winner.
it, I was going to say
All
it.
right.
Just a little bit of an awkward challenge right there on the long ball, just catching the wrong side of it.
Lopez will walk off. Looks like he'll be okay to continue on. It's the Pittsburgh team unbeaten in their last 4 in all competitions, and at the rate that Alberdicqua is scoring right now, they have a chance to continue that mark here today against a good Birmingham side that's trying to get things back on track. As we mentioned, 2 games they've lost in a row here in the league. So trying to figure things out of the Legion.
I think that's a scary thing about the Riverhounds. You've got a scorer like Dikwa, who was able to score early in the season when there weren't as many opportunities, but now the team is starting to possess a little bit more. More players are getting into attack. Bernardo Forbes was rotating out of midfield there to get the assist for the goal. Just more players that can really provide opportunities, so that makes the attack so potent as they go throughout the season.
Something Bob Lilly's talked about in prior weeks is trying to get that second goal, and he specifically pointed that Indy game where they were up. They got an early goal like they did here, but late on they conceded and lost a couple of points there, and that's something that he's definitely keying in on and trying to get that second goal. They got that second goal against Monterey Bay, then conceded in the 90th minute.
I think there's such a risk versus reward of when you do get a goal. You don't want spaces to open up too much because inevitably the opposition gets a little bit more motivation to go forward, start sending more numbers forward. So you want to stay compact, but if you have the ball and you're forcing them to defend, it's even better. So how do you manage that throughout the remainder of the 90 minutes is what's really difficult at times.
There's Dos Santos coming over to break that up. Another throw in coming here for Birmingham, and I guess a good catch by a fan. Vino move it out wide. Just too hot to handle on the far side for Moses Mensah. Mike's Beer Bar isn't only the home to the famous Steak on a Stone, but is also the official watch party location of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Meet me at Mike's. So many home games upcoming. Their next road game is May 28th. That'll be at Loudoun United. Trying to turn the corner there on the far side. Maybe clipping at the heels. And this is actually going against Pittsburgh.
I'm going to be interested to see this one because that definitely looked like there might have been a tug there as Deco rounded the corner. Deco does really well just to face up in the 1v1. Big touch. There's a little bit of contact there, a grab. Oh, man, I don't know. I'll be interested to see if he stepped on his ankle here a little bit. Definitely caught him, it looked like, on the back of the calf there, so I don't know if I agree with that one.
I tend to agree with you there.
Trying to put it nicely,
yes.
But I do not think that went the right way.
Again, that long ball, Birmingham bypassing the midfield, and this time it comes off. Prosper Kasim. Corcoran. Oh, a good ball all the way to the end line, trying to square it. And this one stays in play, and now, or maybe it didn't stay in play. The referee now points for a corner kick, and hard work there by Nico Brett.
This was such a good ball that was able to get Brett in right there. It just takes a little bit of a deflection. Oh, it was close, but it looked like it could have been all the way over.
Now a short corner, and the cross comes in. Wegbo was up for it. And so we'll keep it. Now it's Jake Roof. We'll play this to the end line, and good defending by Blackstock to let it go for a goal kick.
And the last few sequences for the Legion is something they need to do more of. They have that advantage. They actually are playing with two up top. So they are able to go 2 against the 3, and maybe those little slip balls in behind will work better than the direct balls that they're initially trying, because the Riverhounds just continue to drop off until they prove that they can play in the space in front.
Jamali Wade. It's like a hockey game when there's a dead puck, no action, you get the music going. This one put out of play. Coming, referee says creeping a little bit too far upfield. Just the third home game of the season so far for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, at least in the league. 1-1 draw against Miami earlier this season, a 2-0 win over RGV. Hogan. Plenty of time on the ball here for Pittsburgh. Vetzlut trying to turn it upfield. Quick passing. Forbes for Harmon on the far wing. Harmon trying to cut it in. And this will go against Pittsburgh. A foul there on Harmon coming from behind. And a player down for Birmingham as well, away from the play. That is Nico Brett, who is down. That's not a good look here for Birmingham. Of course, we mentioned what he was able to do here in Pittsburgh 2018-2019. Two of his three best seasons. Scored 17 goals in one, 15 in the other. His best 2-year stretch of his career. Scored 72 career goals in the USL Championship regular season. Looks like he already has a wrap on that knee, and might be the concern. If you're just joining us, already one goal in this game here today, and who else but Albert Dequa for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Looking all the way across, and it comes back.
Griffin just was able to find Forbes as he rotated up in the wide space, and Dequa had come across. As that ball was played, you can see him go across the box. He gets back onside for Forbes to play this ball. It's flat across the box, so he is onside, and it's a great finish. A lot of times you want your center forward to try to direct that to that near post area, but with Van Oekel coming across, really clever in the way he finishes to take the lead.
For Kenardo Forbes, the USL assist leader. He's now up to 2 assists on the season, but how about 57 for his career? That is Juan Agudelo, who is warming up, and Agudelo has just 1 goal in the USL Championship so far this year, but has scored 3 in total in the US Open Cup. So he's still been scoring goals as Nico Brett back on his feet, and let's see if he's able to continue on. Doesn't look like he will, as Agudelo looks to be getting his jersey prepared. Early substitution, it looks like here. And that's a tough one for Tom Sohn to have to make. Once Agudelo gets his jersey on, he'll be able to come onto the field.
We talked earlier about managing minutes, and this is something that definitely is not anticipated as you enter a game like this, probably wanting to limit some of the minutes that Agudelo had to play. But sometimes these things happen and you've got to come in, but definitely not something that Tom Sohn probably wants to see this early.
For Birmingham, they do have a week off until their next game. That'll be against El Paso, but then they'll have another 3-game and 7-day stretch against El Paso to start it off, then Charlotte, and then at Detroit. But plenty of home games upcoming. 5 of their next 6 will be at home for Birmingham Legion. All the way into that corner now. Kasim just able to get that out. Here's Juan Agudelo.
Birmingham Legion substitution. Number
Switch
9,
of play
Ron
for Jake
Agabella,
Roof.
and for number 11, Nico Brett.
Corcoran. Again, looking for that lofted ball forward. And this is going to be a foul. And free kick going Pittsburgh's direction now.
And with those long balls, you're not only looking to expose the space behind, but maybe you're just hoping to pick up maybe a second ball or win the first ball, get the second ball, and just gain some space. Because the Riverhounds are very good when they're really low in their defensive half, in their collective defending. They stay really tight together. So sometimes doing that can just kind of throw it off kilter a little bit and try and pick up those balls to go forward.
Wegbo throwing himself at that header. Donez through the middle. Forbes. Just hold play up here for the Riverhounds. Griffin helps it along, and here comes Pittsburgh with Mertz. He cuts it in. Trying for that quick return ball, just didn't quite come off. Santos and Zvetslut win it right back for Pittsburgh. And for Mertz, he's able to keep that alive while losing his balance. Zvetslut. Dos Santos. Play through the lines, touched out wide now. Blackstock. He'll stand the cross up. The heads go up, and the header is out of play. Looking for an Albertiqua once again.
We talked earlier about just the overloads in the wide areas that the Legion needed to win that battle, but right now the Riverhounds are definitely the dominant team in those wide areas. They're getting DC Harmon forward and Langston Blackstock, and it's really making it hard for the Legion to adapt.
Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Long throw, and as this bounces forward, it's Forbes. Move it all the way across. Harmon leads the break. Trying to get this back, and it runs all the way out of play for a throw-in. Zvetslut. Blackstock. Lofted forward. This will run all the way through. Van Okel's there to claim it. So far, this has been all Pittsburgh. 3 shots, 2 of them been on target. Just 1 shot so far for Birmingham. Only 1 touch in the opposition box. Another whistle and a foul.
And as you mentioned earlier, it's that second goal that the Riverhounds are going to want, that they're really going to need to push for, because the longer the Legion stay in this, right, 1, they're going to get more and more comfortable getting possession. 2, they've got a lot of players that can come in off the bench and make an impact. So you want to get that second goal if you're the Riverhounds, especially with the ability that they've had to go forward and make the Legion defend. Mertz. This
foot to it, but Birmingham wins it right back. How quickly can they go? Kasim tries to play it forward. There's some contact, and it's a free kick for Birmingham. And this is in great real estate right at the top of the area.
And Kasim has gotten more touches just in the last minute and a half, and that's good for Birmingham. He can dictate play. He does that one-touch ball. Just on the wrong side was Patrick Hogan, and Agudelo goes down. Definite foul there, but it comes from Kasim playing really quickly in that gap in front of the back line.
Kasim, one of those standing around this. It looks like the youngster Matthew Corcoran as well. His jersey number is his age, 17. Tyler Pasher as well. He scored a big goal in this stadium before, back in 2020 for Indy 11. Shot comes on and it's in! What a stunner there for Birmingham Legion! It indeed is the youngster, Matthew Corcoran. That is one to remember. His first goal, 1-1.
Absolutely clutch from the young midfielder. Just takes one step up. The second step hits that. Jamali Waite can do nothing. He just watches that go in the net. It goes right over the wall. It's exactly textbook what you would ask from that position from a set piece.
Oh, how about that from Matthew Corcoran, the 17-year-old in just his second season here with Birmingham Legion. That is his first pro goal. And it comes at a great moment. Waite was rooted to his spot. That was pretty much the perfect distance, exactly where you'd want it, and he teed it up. Found the back of the net, a great strike.
And that's not easy to do from 19 yards, to be able to get it up and over the wall with that type of precision. For any player, let alone a 17-year-old, that is not easy to do technically, and to step up in that moment and convert when your team needs you the most. Because really, Birmingham has not created hardly anything going forward, but when you let teams hang around, they get opportunities like that.
And maybe an opportunity there, but it's back for Waite. For Corcoran, Dallas, Texas native, spent 3 years with the FC Dallas Academy before moving on to North Texas Soccer Club, their MLS Next Pro side. At the time, though, they were in USL League One when he was playing on the team. We talk about young talent in this league. Fidel Barajas, we know all about him. There's a lot of other good young players as well. And Matthew Corcoran, he may not be the most flashy player because maybe he plays deeper in midfield, but that goal will go up against any.
Yeah, so that's what you want out of your six, is to play simple, win balls, play simple, keep the rhythm, keep the tempo. But the goal, definitely a flashy goal. And you know what's impressive? We didn't really touch on this. Out of all the players on the field, he stepped up and took it.
That's true.
So not only did he convert it, but the players let him step up in a moment that was really critical, and he converted.
You got Prosper Kasim, you have a U.S. men's national teamer and Juan Agudelo as well, and yet it's the 17-year-old youngest player on the field steps up to take that. Foul there on the far side. Agudelo forced on due to the injury to Nico Brett. Left it forward again. Pasher. Went a throw-in out of it. Corcoran. O'Nally serves it out wide for Pasher again. Pasher trying to get it back. It's Corcoran. He's trying to switch the point of attack here. Mensah back for Ravino. Left it forward again, and there's Jamali Waite. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Pittsburgh getting the early goal, Birmingham responding. Probably what you'd expect between these two teams, and maybe safe to say two rivals, as they have had some really fun matchups in previous seasons and already this season as well, where it did finish in a 1-1 draw with Birmingham scoring the opener, but Pittsburgh responding late. Flipped here in the Steel City.
And I feel like it's kind of been a half that's kind of been a bit of a chess match, almost like they're just feeling each other out a little bit. I think coming off midweek games, that can be a very high energy level, and then just figuring out, okay, what do we want to do here to try to get these 3 points, and how do we do that across 90 minutes is always interesting. But I would expect the pace is going to pick up even more, because both of these teams haven't had a win in the last 2 games, and they need that in the regular season to climb the standings.
It's always tough when you're battling on 2 fronts, if you will. You have all that momentum in the Open Cup, but then when you come to league form, you're saying, all right, we need to keep that rolling in the league as well. That's what's going to help us as the summer moves along. Corcoran for Roof. His head up, Roof. Nothing doing there, he'll chase this down. Moves it off to the far side. This cross floated in, looking for Agudelo. Birmingham quick to get back on the ball. It felt like early on it was Pittsburgh with plenty of the possession, but that goal is giving Birmingham a little bit of energy, it seems.
Well, it's always nice when your holding mid gets a goal, because they seem to run around a little bit more in there and get involved a little bit more. And you can see Corcoran's gotten on the ball in that midfield position with Mikey Lopez. That is so essential in possession, because they can switch the point and just dictate the tempo a little bit more.
Dikwa on the chase. Cronali able to cut it off. If Dikwa can keep up his goal-scoring ways, he might be given an honorary Yinzer tag to him.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. He's going to become a folk hero in this town. Here's Pasher. Broken up. Dos Santos stepping forward. Play it down the line, Forbes. He's running out of room there. Coming right over the back there of Griffin, but play on. Lopez leaves it right there in the middle. Dikwa will keep it. And now we'll try to turn it upfield, looking for Mertz. Touches it into space. Mensah has it covered, and he'll get there for Birmingham.
Mensah does really well to recover in that area. There's a tons of space that Mertz somehow figures out how to get that in behind. But I think for the Riverhounds, it's the speed of play. Now it's starting to pick up, but the last 5 minutes or so, just the decisions have been a little bit slow, and Birmingham's not really having to worry too much because the ball's not moving quickly.
Forbes. And this flicked along. DZ Harmon can look infield. Trying to get this in for Dikwa. It's headed back centrally and cleared away. A heads-up play there. He was not going to get the power to put that on goal, but tried to keep the play alive.
Yeah, it was nice because it was 1 versus 3 in the penalty area, and what I liked was DZ Harmon as well, just tried to get it into an area that was dangerous. It may not be for a finish, but was able to put them under pressure as a back line, and Dikwa does well to try to get something across on it.
Say make them make a play. Birmingham did. Svetslu. Ronali pushing into our camera position down there.
And yeah, I fucking got it.
The throw-in comes. Lofted forward. Blackstock. Motor down this near side. He'll win a throw-in out of it. Should be a few minutes added on here at the end. Nico Brett injury, a couple of goals as well.
There will be a minimum of 4 minutes stoppage
There will
time.
be 4 minutes added on at the end
4 minutes
of this first half. Chested down. Pittsburgh able to keep it. Griffin. Quick free kick taken by the Riverhounds. Moving this out of play.
And technically that isn't what they wanted there off of Robbie Mertz's foot, but I think playing quickly with the set piece will help the Riverhounds, because when Birmingham gets back in their defensive shape, they're really hard to break down. So that ball moving quicker and a little bit more attacking transition could aid their attack as they do finish out this half and go into the second half.
This Birmingham side have not been short on scoring goals. They average almost 1.5 goals per game. That's good for 5th in the USL Championship. You feel it coming for Birmingham, and they've had some good moments going forward, but definitely has not been there in terms of big numbers. Both teams with just 3 shots in this game. Here's Pasher. Pasher cutting it in. Move all the way out of play. Corner kick upcoming.
He just makes things happen. He puts his head down, goes 1v1. There's a lot of good build-up play in the wide space, and that's what we talked about. There has to be more of that for Birmingham if they want to create chances. But I like when Pasher puts his head down and goes to goal, because nothing came from it necessarily on frame, but they get a corner kick out of it.
It's been about 17 minutes since Pittsburgh's last shot. Now have to defend another corner kick here. Pasher will deliver. The in-swinger is pushed away. Jamali Waite was defending his goal there from that corner. Now it's Kasim. Looking to get around Blackstock. Blackstock able to keep it, and then he's fouled. Good defensive work there from the outside back.
And this corner was just absolutely whipped in off the left foot. And look at that from Waite. Just also players in front. I believe that was Corcoran putting some pressure on it. But this is incredibly dangerous. The in-swinger, he does a great job just to get it out of the area.
Final minute of this first half. Dikwa. Is he tripped? He's going to say he was, but the referee will point for a corner kick. So Pittsburgh maybe one last chance in this first half, and this is their first corner of the game.
Dequa goes out into this wide area, does really well just to go in the 1v1, beats one. Looks like there's almost a foul there. And Mensah thinks it's going to be a goal kick, but rolls it out for a corner.
Mertz standing over this. Mertz delivers, the heads go up. It's cleared away as far as Griffin. He was backing up as he tried to hit that. It's out of play, and that should pretty much bring us to halftime. And the referee will bring us to the 15-minute intermission. Pittsburgh gets the first goal from the league leader, Albert Dequa, and then it's the 17-year-old Matthew Corcoran to respond. It's all to play for in the second half.
I think it's about energy, passion, and speed of play. Whichever team can really get after it in the second half. Be smart with the way they play, but move the ball quickly and shift the back lines. I think it's the team that's going to come out on the win.
Dequa gets his 8th of the season. Matthew Corcoran gets maybe the first of many, his first career USL Championship and pro goal tonight here for Birmingham. So we have reached halftime from the Steel City, and we have a good one on our hands here tonight. These two teams, so much history in prior years, and tonight it is still 1-1 here at halftime. Halftime is presented by Highmark. Stay with us.
Cheer on the Riverhounds all season long at Mike's Beer Bar, Pittsburgh's home for local beer. With 21 TVs, over 300 local beers, and amazing food, Mike's is the place to be. Tell your friends to meet me at Mike's, Federal Street, right across from PNC Park.
Pittsburgh, stop breathing dirty air and contaminants trapped in your home's air ducts and dryer vents. Call Sears Air Duct and Carpet Cleaning or go to SearsClean.com. Our professionals will clean and disinfect your home's air ducts with powerful high-pressure vacuum equipment that cleans the air your family breathes. We love our pets, but their hair and dander get trapped in your air ducts and their odors in your carpets and on upholstery. Sears can clean it away. Call Sears Air Duct and Carpet Cleaning for a healthier home. Go to SearsClean.com.
Everyone knows that Get-Go Cafe and Market is handcrafting incredible, craveable meals made fresh to order. Our menu is loaded with juicy, melty, saucy, crisp creations thanks to our team of culinary experts. We're talking food so amazing that it's gonna blow your mind when you realize we also sell gas. Get-Go Cafe and Market. Better believe it.
Halftime is presented by Highmark Health. It is 1-1 between the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and the Birmingham Legion. Of course, we mentioned these two teams have some history. And let's throw it back to 2019 when Pittsburgh got the upper hand over Birmingham.
In the 2019 season, the Riverhounds were flying high. With only 2 losses in their final 23 games, the team finished with the best record in the Eastern Conference and earned home field throughout the conference playoffs. But the Hounds had never won a playoff match at their 7-year-old Highmark Stadium home. In fact, the team had not won any playoff matches since the 2004 season, which is why anticipation was so high ahead of the team's first playoff game, an Eastern Conference quarterfinal against the Birmingham Legion.
Highmark was booming, like the fans were excited, everyone making noise, like it's a really good atmosphere, like the best I've been a part of.
To come out for my first playoff game and just see the crowd, and you see a little bit of rain coming in, a little bit of snow throughout the game. To hear the stands, it's all right, we're home, we're gonna get it done. We've done it all year long. Tonight is the night to make something special happen.
Not even a heavy rain on game day could dampen the excitement of a stadium record crowd of 5,627 fans, and it wasn't long before they would be given reason after reason to cheer. The top seed played the part, and just 13 minutes into the game, Nico Brett put the Hounds ahead, capitalizing after a Robbie Mertz shot struck the post.
That ball fell to me and I hit a volley like as sweet as I've ever hit one, and it rang off the post and came back and hit the keeper, and then kind of cycled back and Nico scored, and I remember that. He went and celebrated with the Steel Army right in front of us, and there was smoke and the noise was like through the roof.
Brett scored 2 more goals in the first half, and an unlikely score, defender Jordan Dover added another in first half stoppage time to give the Hounds an unassailable 5-goal lead.
The crowd was everything that game, and the rain, I think we played that in their offensive end for the whole first half, and Nico came up, picked that game for us.
We knew that they could give us a good test, and I would say it probably wasn't until like 4-0 in the first half that we were like, all right, I think this is going to go our way here. But yeah, it was one of those things where probably as we went through the first half, it just started to feel very easy to us.
The scoring wasn't done. Mertz converted a second half penalty kick to make it 6-0.
I remember Tommy Van Kuyziel came up to me in the celebrations and was like, that was not a good penalty. But it was one of those nights, like everything was going our way, and thankfully that's one of the good memories, not one of the ones that takes away from it. So it was really cool to get a goal in that game for sure and to contribute that way.
Brett capped the night with his 4th goal, setting a USL Championship playoff record and tying the Hounds record for goals in any single game. When the final whistle blew, the Hounds had a 7-0 win, the biggest in USL playoff history. But more importantly for the fans, the team had the playoff win that had eluded them for so long at Highmark Stadium.
Everyone's screaming, clapping, a little bit of snow, a little bit of grit that gives us, this is Pittsburgh, you come home, and this is the game that you have to deal with when you come to us. I think that's just the best feeling, to just see each other at the end of the game and say we got it done at home with our fans the way we wanted it. Unbelievable.
I mean, really it is about not about the size of the stadium or the magnitude of people there. It's about what they bring and the energy they bring, and certainly in this case it was off the charts. It was amazing.
Best atmosphere, and we finished that game 7-0, playoff game at home. Great atmosphere, as I said. The fans were brilliant, so that was one of one.
This has been a look back at one of the top moments in 10 years of Highmark Stadium.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes you feel alone, like your world is collapsing, like there's no hope. But you're not alone. Someone is there to listen, to talk, to help you up. The United Soccer League is proud to support the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, because everyone needs support.
I can't wait to get to the Museum of Play. I will defeat the dreaded Donkey Kong, crush everyone in foosball, build an impenetrable dream house, explore the butterfly garden, mightily conquer the dance lab, and when all are vanquished, you know, I'd really like to see the Fairy Tale Forest puppet show, because it's kind of my jam. To the museum!
With so much to do and see, everyone loves the strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York.
Halftime is presented by Highmark Health. It is 1-1 here at the break between the Riverhounds and the Birmingham Legion. Well, busy times in the USL Championship today. One of 2 days across the entire season where all 24 teams are playing a game, which I think is pretty cool. How about Christian Valesky? Also pretty cool, winning the USL Championship Player of the Month. And of course, a new president is in for the USL, Paul McDonough. And of course, we mentioned USL and the US Open Cup. These two teams are on the round of 16.
That's what's so exciting about this matchup, coming off two really great wins, matching up here today and getting ready to go into that next round of the Open Cup.
Of course, both teams will be at home as well. Birmingham against Charlotte, Pittsburgh against Columbus. Well, plenty of games going on right now. That one in the top right piques my interest. 3-0 San Antonio.
That's a big one, and it's expected to be much tighter, but San Antonio's off to the races here, only 28 minutes in. And then you've got the Tampa Bay Rowdies, who are in good form recently, up 2-1 on Detroit City.
They're looking for a couple of wins in a row. And of course, Louisville City and Miami FC. You can catch that one on ESPN2, the USL on ESPN returning. And speaking of the USL on ESPN, plenty more games to come here on ESPN2. It'll really pick up in July with a really nice slate of games upcoming. So we will see what these games bring. Phoenix and Memphis will be the next one up on July 1st. It is halftime here. The young ones will head off the field and back into the stands. And the pros will come back out on the field for the second 45 minutes. It's 1-1 between Pittsburgh and Birmingham.
Ain't no better feeling than a cold one in my hand. Well, that's why I'll be keeping Iron City in my plans. Oh, everywhere I roam, I'll be thinking about my home. Sitting pouring on the iron right before I go to rest. And when I'm laying in my bed, there's only one thing in my head. Just an ice cold can of Pittsburgh, PA's best.
It's 412 Celebrity Night at Highmark Stadium in Station Square. Come out and join former Pittsburgh Pirates catcher Mike Lavarier on Saturday, May 20th for a night of family fun and professional soccer as the Riverhounds host Birmingham.
Biassi and line, crossing it, chested in!
Up that a Craig.
Tickets as low as $18. Get yours today at riverhounds.com/tickets.
Let's go, come on. I love a new color and a new game. I like to switch it up, wherever my mood takes me. I'm always just doing me. And today, I'm me loving the PA lottery. The games have become a part of me. They make me happy. They get me excited. And when I want to try something new, I'll just go to another, and then another, and another.
There's a lot of love for the Pennsylvania Lottery. And when you see how fun it is, you'll understand why.
Do you feel uneasy, irritable? Does your Xfinity bill make you anxious? You may be suffering from UPH, unexpected price hikes. It happened to me. And then I switched to T-Mobile and got 5G home internet for just $50 a month. Now I'm sleeping better, my skin is glowing, and my hair has never been so shiny. Most importantly, T-Mobile has price lock guarantee. They will never raise your internet rate, ever. Switch to T-Mobile home internet. It worked for me. And just look at that shine. Wait, what has the internet got to do with my hair?
Halftime here from Pittsburgh as we get set for the second half. Halftime presented by Highmark Health. 1-1 between Pittsburgh and Birmingham after 45 minutes. Looking back at that first half, a little bit slow at times, but both of the goals very, very nice.
Very nice, and the Riverhounds are the ones that started very quickly in possession, but also getting the scoring going early. Danny Griffin just plays Forbes on this far side, decides to play in one touch. The movement in the box by Albert Dikwa, just so good, getting in between defenders, does anything he can just to direct this on frame and gets the goal.
A league-leading 8th goal for Albert Dikwa, and then the 17-year-old. That is just wonderful.
Absolutely beautiful. A clinical finish. It's so hard to do, and Corcoran steps up and finishes right away.
Well, not a lot of shots, but the possession pretty much right down the middle. It's all there for the taking in the second half.
And it really did even out. Even though the Riverhounds started faster, Birmingham got more of the possession as they went going, tipping it at 51%. But a little bit of back and forth and filling each other out. I expect even more going forward in the second half.
Back here at Highmark Stadium with Casey White, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. The young ones taking this one in. We saw a bunch of them on the field at halftime. We got some cotton candy getting munched on as well. What a night here along the rivers in Pittsburgh. The teams will switch ends. Of course, Birmingham in red. It is Pittsburgh in the familiar black and yellow. Someone gets a false start there on the far side. Down the river, that's a 5-yard penalty, Casey.
Very eager.
And now we go. Underway, 45 more minutes here from Highmark Stadium. A beautiful night for soccer along the river. And already Pittsburgh motoring forward. Of course, it is this Pittsburgh Riverhounds side, unbeaten their last 4 in all competitions, but when you look at the league, just 1 win in their last 4, and similar for Birmingham, 2-2-1 in all competitions in their last 5, but just 2-3 over their last 5, and they've lost 2 straight in the league. So both of these teams, while they have put together good campaigns in the US Open Cup, you have to focus a little bit on the league, as Bob Lilly said, until you can put your focus back on the Open Cup, but that's still about 10 days away. Substitution coming on. That is the end of the night for Trevor Zvetslut, as Mark Ibarra has checked on. A couple of halftime subs expected, of course, with those midweek matches for both of these teams. It will also be Anderson Asidu, who is the, I guess you can call him the first choice number 6, or at least he's started almost every game this season for Birmingham. He checks in for Mikey Lopez.
And both subs for both managers are in that holding mid position, a position that's going to be really important in dictating tempo and keeping the ball. You can kind of see where both managers probably feel they need to get a little bit more possession, a little bit more comfortability with the ball, and both of those substitutions could help in that regard.
This one floated forward, quickly headed away. It's another foul. This will go Pittsburgh's direction. Hogan swings it around for Harmon. Former Charleston Battery teammates. Now Harmon stands this up. Flicked away by Cronali. Roof is there to get this away. Asidu has started in all 10 games so far in the USL Championship. This is the first game he has not started. He has been a big part of this team over his career, his 5th season with Birmingham. Spent some time with Atlanta United too as well previously. Blackstock trying to get to the end line and runs out of room as this runs out of play. Mentioned it was 3-0 to San Antonio. How about 4-0 now? They are putting a hurting on Charleston, who right now is at the top of the Eastern Conference, but right now it is Birmingham and Louisville hot on their heels. Birmingham, though, has played one more game than Charleston and 2 more games than Louisville, and all 3 of those teams in action right now. Depending on how things go, a chance potentially for Birmingham to move to the top of the East. But right now, Pittsburgh trying to make sure that doesn't happen as Van Oekel comes away with this.
And it was good play just to get down into those wide spaces. You're seeing a little bit of a difference in variation of how the Riverhounds are trying to attack that space, and different players moving in, different patterns of play, and either way, it is opening up a little bit of space to get an opportunity on frame.
Here's Harmon. Hogan. Roll this through the middle. Mertz for Forbes. Trying for the return ball. It's broken up. Agadello. On for the injured Nico Brett. A couple players get tangled up there, but play on. Mensah is cross straight out of play. There in the middle, another free kick coming for Pittsburgh. For a little flick there from Mertz. Now all the way back to Van Oekel, who just got there in time. Otherwise, that's an easy tap-in goal for Albert Dikwa. Mertz working in tight spaces. Dikwa, I believe, was offside.
There's just some technical breakdowns from both the teams in build-up, and it's just sometimes you just have some of those nights where there's some good patterns of play, but a few technical breakdowns on that last piece. You kind of get the feel that it could be a free kick, a set piece, or even a forced mistake in the back. You see Dikwa, when he was pressing high, could be a forced mistake in the back that really makes a difference in this game.
Broken up, and Wegbo tries to cut it in. He's cut down instead. Mensah and Wegbo. Corcoran, tonight's goal scorer for Birmingham. Foul. This will go Birmingham's direction. Set piece opportunity for the Legion. Is this going to be a yellow card as well? Dos Santos, he can't believe it. He will have his name taken.
We'll just take a look back at it. He was heading backwards, got a little bit of pressure there on the initial challenge. That's where the foul was called, but it's for the kick after. That's why the yellow card was given.
Definitely can't do that for Dos Santos. That's already his 4th yellow card this season.
That's probably why he's upset, because it's an unnecessary yellow, but I don't know why he's so upset, because it's obvious.
As this ball's whipped in, the referee will call for a foul. Like Agadello committed it there for Birmingham. Jamali Waite. Jamaican international, the goalkeeper for Pittsburgh. And of course, a big summer upcoming with the Gold Cup. Will he be on that roster? Of course, everybody probably behind Andre Blake if he's healthy, but he's earned a few caps in his career. 3 to be exact. A whistle here. They'll bring this back. It'll be a free kick for Pittsburgh. There at Bob Lilly. He's the second coach of a lower division team to knock off a Bruce Arena-led MLS team. Adds to his Hall of Fame career, Bob Lilly. Asher. Mensah cutting it back. 10 minutes into this second half. Doesn't seem like there's been wholesale changes from the first half.
There hasn't. It's a lot of the same, and it's been really hard for Birmingham to break down the wingbacks of the Riverhounds. Both Langstaff and DZ Harmon have done extremely well, and there's just not any patterns of play that are pulling them out, so there's space that can be exposed behind, and I think it's a big part of the challenge for Birmingham at this point.
Flick this through the middle. There's Mertz. This pass all the way behind DZ Harmon. Pittsburgh can reset with Hogan. Cut this in, Blackstock. Leaves it off for Griffin. Now DZ Harmon. Burst of pace to get to the end line, cuts it across, and it's right there at Van Oekel.
I think just the organization in the box can be a little bit better from the Riverhounds. I like the sustained possession, able to switch the point, and DZ Harmon does well to get the ball across, but Bernardo Forbes, his run took him really far past the near post. A little more patience, there might have been a little more pressure on Van Oekel.
Here's Agudelo. Gonna hand this off for Prosper Kasim. Birmingham trying to work it around, Corcoran. And it's turned over. Going back to your point about Pittsburgh in that final third, Bob Lilly's talked about trying to be a little bit more dynamic in that area of the field. That goes back to his comments also of looking for that second goal, something they have struggled with so far this season, but looks like in the meantime there will be a substitution coming. That's the end of the night for Diba Nwegbo. And coming on is Enzo Martinez. And what a few weeks it has been for Enzo Martinez. 5 goals in the last 4. He's now 3rd all-time in the USL Championship with combined goals and assists at 104 combined. Just a few now behind his former Charlotte teammate, Jorge Herrera.
And he's a player that can really occupy that space in front of the back line. And, you know, you talk about his production, but just the ability to be in that space can be big for them.
Floated forward. It's Jamali Waite, who was there to claim it. Interesting to see now how Tom Sohn will use that last substitution window as 2 subs available. Alves and Smith are the only 2 field players remaining. There's Trevor Spangenberg, who is the backup goalkeeper. Corcoran to the far side. Siadu. Driven ball forward, looking for Agudelo. He was just looking for a little flick there to get it by Jamali Waite. Just not quite able to do so.
And that was a ball that just had much more purpose behind it than just playing it forward. It was that change of point ball between the two center backs there. And that was what Bob Willey was worried about, was just the accuracy of that ball from distance and defending it.
It's a big striker up top like Agudelo. We mentioned earlier, he hasn't really gotten it going in the league, but 3 goals in the Open Cup. He has put the ball in the back of the net this season, as now Pittsburgh tries to answer back the other way. They'll get a corner kick out of it.
Fans, it's time for a Quantum Spirits corner kick.
First corner kick of this second half for either side.
Your Quantum Spirit.
Just the second of the game for Pittsburgh. Forbes will play it in short. Forbes will get it right back. Now the in-swinger's headed away. Whenever Forbes gets on the ball in that sort of area, those defenders hold their breath. He is a great assister, of course, the best there is in this league. Hear the shout there from Tom Sohn. We want Enzo in an attacking position. And based on his stats over the last few weeks, there's good reason for it. Griffin has to cut this back. Ibarra just able to keep this moving, but it's turned over. Pasher closed down quickly and turned over. And then Mertz can't connect with Forbes.
There's just too much pace on that ball, but we were talking about Enzo Martinez. That spot in that 10 roll in front of the back line was what we were just telling them in the first half, that Kasim needed to get on the ball a little bit more. And when he did, there was some space to operate in. So if Enzo Martinez can find that facing the back line, it'll be good for the Legion.
Fans, tonight's attendance, 5,123. That is a sellout. Thank you, Hounds fans, for your attendance.
How about that? Heard over the PA, a sellout tonight, over 5,000 in attendance here at Highmark Stadium, and there's been so much excitement this week about this club and getting a home game in the Open Cup. Great time to be a Yinzer.
It's a great time to be able to come back to Highmark and getting 5 ties on the road, 2 wins, you know, all of that. That's really hard on that stretch of the games that so many were on the road early on.
Trying to get this shot away, it looks like. Instead, Forbes will move it across for Harmon. That's it back for Forbes. This one stood up to the back post. The header's on and in! Danny Griffin, welcome back to Pittsburgh! His first goal back with the Riverhounds. It's 2-1.
Just such good build-up here. Look at that vision to the back post. Danny Griffin, just a little bit of separation. He's on the blind side shoulder, but man, what a good finish.
Hold everything. It looks like this one is coming back. It sounds like offside is the call. He went through all the celebration. The smoke was released. And yet, nothing there on the board. We stay at 1-1.
That had to be incredibly close. And it might have been that he was a little too eager, working to get back on side. But the ball from Forbes was from quite a distance away. So that's got to be disappointing for Griffin, because it was such a great finish.
Hesitation there in the middle. Harmon tripped up. And this will be a yellow card. Corcoran into the book.
Yellow card's been issued. The Birmingham lead is number 17, Matthew Corcoran.
Matthew Corcoran into the book, and it looks like a couple of subs now coming on for Pittsburgh. Edward Kizza will be one of those, and Luke Biasi the other.
Riverhounds substitution, 19, Edward Kizza.
Bobby Mertz and DZ Harmon will both come off, and you mentioned me before the game just how tired you thought Harmon was in that game on Tuesday, and now he will get about an hour here tonight.
He put in such a shift, and that wingback position was critical to the Riverhounds' success, and he had such a good game, so I'm not surprised to see him make way here.
Well, the fans still not pleased with the referee about that decision. This one over the top again. Blackstock in front. It's cleared away by Cronale. Well, Pittsburgh now really starting to put the pressure on right in front of the Steel Army. Blackstock on the chase. Mensah able to cut this out. Bouncing around. Now trying to play this through, and Kizza had a great chance to be on the receiving end if that was not broken up. Kizza very active since coming on. Ibarra with the low drive. Scooped up by Van Oekel.
Well, the Riverhounds have definitely found a tactic that's working, which is that opposite side ball very quickly. 1 or 2 touch, trying to play the opposite side of the penalty area. It hasn't resulted in a goal that's counted yet, but it's made Birmingham very uncomfortable here the last few minutes.
Van Oekel, I don't think, liked that one, as he just sends it straight out of play. This game's starting to heat up a little bit, though, and mostly for a Pittsburgh perspective. Since that 7-0 win in the playoffs, which we showed you at halftime, that video of the Highmark moments, every game has either been a draw or a 1-goal game.
After the game, players will be signing autographs on the field.
They have played some tight games over these last few seasons. There's no reason for that to change here tonight. It doesn't look like it will. That's what's so great about new teams coming into the league, and I don't think you'd ever say, yeah, Birmingham and Pittsburgh, that's a rivalry right there. But
it could be developed.
But exactly, because of the history they have, starting it off with that 7-0 win for Pittsburgh back in 2019, and then what has happened over these last couple of years, it's been organic.
Well, when a result like that happens against you as a player, you can't help but just go, I need to play that team again, and have the opportunity to get that back and right that wrong a little bit. So I think inevitably when that happens early on, a rivalry can come from it.
They didn't play in 2020, and then, of course, the playoff game in 2021 never happened. So a couple of games last year, and then the playoff game, and already the one game this year. A lot of good moments already between these two clubs. How about 2 teams in the league tonight have scored 4 goals and potentially counting? As I mentioned, San Antonio against Charleston, but how about Tampa Bay against Detroit? As this will be brought back, there's a foul behind that play. Free kick will go Pittsburgh's way, and it looks like a yellow card will also be issued. Early indications say that it could be against Moses Mensah.
Birmingham's number 33, Moses Mensah.
Just taking a look back right here. Mensah stepping in there late on the tackle, coming through on Forbes, and that's what he gets the yellow card for.
Also, Louisville City has taken a 2-1 lead over Miami, which could influence what goes on at the top of the table. So if results hold, Birmingham and Louisville will be tied at 17 points, as that one was cleared away. Throw will go Pittsburgh's way. All this pressure, and from a Pittsburgh perspective, they're not able to come away with a goal. Probably feel a bit hard done by it. Blackstock gets this into the middle, flicked along and in! There it is for the Riverhounds again! And who else but Albert Dikwa, his league leading 9th, 2-1 Hounds!
And it all comes from that pressure. Again, even forcing that throw-in was the opposite side ball. It makes Birmingham face their own goal and be caught in their defensive third. Right here, then pressing high, a bad clearance out. Blackstock does really well. Just look at this composure. Goes by the first bit of pressure, just puts it into an area that's dangerous. Dikwa puts that on. Van Okel's got to be upset about that one. There wasn't a lot of power, but the technique to get it down, that is hard for a goalkeeper to get down that quickly.
And he's got the moves to show as well.
He certainly does.
Well, after that goal was called off a few minutes ago, the pressure then even ramped up even more from Pittsburgh, and Albert Dikwa, right now it's his league and everybody else just playing in it because he is on an absolute tear.
And Birmingham had upwards of 8 minutes to adapt to that ball to the back post. And I know that's not what the goal came from. It came from a cross, but that ball has been what's putting them under pressure, and they haven't adapted ever since that goal was called back that Griffin scored.
Albert Dikwa, that's now brace in 2 straight games. And that is also 5 goals in 3 games for Albert Dikwa. Part of the team of the week last week, and I think it's probably fair to say he'll be a part of it this upcoming week as well, and maybe in with the shout for player of the week, because he has been on a great run of form. And when strikers get in these sorts of runs, you better watch out. Floated forward again. Dikwa, good job reading that header. Albert Dikwa! Boy, anything you touch, you just gotta sit back and enjoy it, because you just never know with him right now. He's on fire.
You just said you better watch out, and you can see he's even more active than he's been. Just reading that ball off of Cronali's head, sees that bit of space, and why not? I mean, he already has this goal-scoring touch for tonight, but you talked about it. When they're in form, strikers, it's very hard to really do anything to stop them, because confidence just builds, and they don't have to be involved in every moment. The good goal scorers, when they have their moment, they shine.
He has given Pittsburgh a 2-1 lead now for the 2nd league game in a row. Not only has he scored 5 goals in 3 games, he scored 5 straight goals for Pittsburgh. The last 5 goals they have scored in the league have all been Albert Dikwa. As Jamali Waite drops this, but it bounces off his teammate and right back into his arms. Oh, it's going your way, it's going your way.
I think he might have taken a very big sigh of relief there.
Now in the middle, Ronali stepping forward. Junior Etu will be coming on. That is the end of the night for Langston Blackstock. This is all about man managing right now for Bob Lilly, trying to see this game out. And of course, coming from the big Open Cup game in the midweek, Etu now onto the field.
And Blackstock had a good performance, did a lot of work in that wingback position, got a good amount of minutes, and then ended with that assist.
For Blackstock, that is his first goal involvement of his professional career, his first assist of the season. Product out of Clayton State University. It's Division II. credit to the scouting network for Bob Lilly to find a player like Blackstock and an important part of this team this year. As Van Oekel comes to claim this. And it's Dequa. Dequa could be in. Dequa drags the shot wide. Sitting on a hat trick. That was nearly number 3.
And of course, finishing is the hard part, but that first touch was so nice from Dequa on that one.
It was all for naught, though, as the flag was up for offside.
Oh, he must have come off from the offside position to come back around in front. Just couldn't connect on that one, but wouldn't have mattered.
Substitution coming, and this looks like a like-for-like change with Colin Smith coming on to replace Jake Roof.
Number 4, Colin Smith.
That is
in for number 13, Jake Roof.
The last sub of the night, as Tom Sona's now used all 3 of his substitution windows.
And Colin Smith is a player that can just absolutely run up and down in those wide spaces. So you would assume that this will be something they'll ask him to do, to just try to create more going forward, overload the wide area, and generate some opportunities into the box.
There's also another sub there with Gabriel Alves coming on. So outside backs getting a bit of a different look here late on. And now all 5 subs have been utilized by Tom Sona in Birmingham.
Fans, make sure you catch all the Hounds action on the road at Mike's Beer Bar, the official watch party destination of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Meet us at Mike's.
I'll listen to the PA guy, because I'm going to tell you the same thing. Mike's Beer Bar is the official watch party location of the Riverhounds. Meet me at Mike's. Final 15 minutes here tonight from Pittsburgh. Birmingham find an equalizer for the 2nd time tonight. Asiadu. Like he slipped as he got rid of that pass. Runs through the middle. Etu steps forward, and he'll move it out wide. Contact coming from behind. Free kick to Pittsburgh.
Hounds fans, we'd like to thank Piata Italian Street Food for helping fuel the team. Piata Italian Street Food is the official
The USL is committed to caring for the mental health of our players, fans, and communities. The Need Support campaign includes a partnership with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, a free confidential support line for anyone having thoughts of suicide or experiencing mental health, as this is saved by Van Oekel. Long downfield and cleared away.
And you'd think that Birmingham would probably start putting some more numbers forward, and it's going to be important for the Riverhounds to make sure they keep a compact shape if they want to see this out.
It's Tyler Pasher. Some contact there. It looked like he may have just slipped over the top of the ball. And now it's out for a goal kick.
And if you're Ordonez, you got to feel a little lucky. I think he just got a toe on the ball, and there wasn't much contact there, but it looks a little bit scary when you're inside the penalty area, especially creeping up on the last 10 minutes.
Big game for a lot of reasons, as a win here tonight for Pittsburgh would move them up into 4th spot as we look back at this last play.
It was a good prep touch, but yeah, right between his legs, just a toe right in there for Ordonez. Does really well, and a little bit lucky maybe not to catch a leg.
This is turned over again, and Birmingham really pushing forward now. Enzo Martinez Asiadu. Find Juan Agudelo. Alves looking to find space to the end line. Locked out, corner kick Birmingham as they look for an equalizer. Pasher to the near post, flicked along, and they'll do it again. Play this short. Prosper Kasim maybe took a deflection, and Jamali Waite, it's a couple times he's bobbled a cross coming in like that.
I would assume with that deflection, maybe there was some strange spin on that or something because no one was really close, but that can tend to happen when there's deflections like that in the air.
Las Vegas Lights FC. Get your tickets online at riverhounds.com/tickets.
If you want to watch the action from on the field here at Highmark Stadium, make sure to call 412-865-GOAL to reserve the IC Light corner kick suite today. It's in the corner to the right of the goal that Birmingham is attacking. Great spot here at Highmark Stadium, right along the river. Too far out in front of Colin Smith, an unforced error and turned over. Izzo was almost onto that. Dos Santos. He's brought down. Free kick Pittsburgh.
And all of this just plays into the favor of the Riverhounds. Right now, Birmingham having to chase. The more that the Riverhounds can keep possession, draw fouls, and frustrate the Legion, it's going to work better for them these last few minutes.
Pittsburgh can close this out. They move into fourth spot, just 2 points behind Birmingham. Both Louisville and San Antonio have added to their leads. Louisville leads 3-1. San Antonio leads 5-0 against Charleston, the top team in the East. And San Antonio will move to the top spot in the West with those 3 points. Etu able to step around a challenge, trying to slide it through the middle, and was broken up. Pittsburgh will keep it with Hogan. Another foul. Alves gets caught this time. Free kick.
You just see here with Ibarra just trying to spin there. Alves too aggressive, but that's what's going to happen when you're down a goal. You're trying to push. This just eats away more of the clock, and Ibarra's pushed out to that right side and able to draw the foul.
Another sub coming. This will be the end of the night for Kenardo Forbes. And Michael DeShields will come on to take his place. Closing time here for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Ibarra will deliver, trying to put this away, and it's headed over the bar. DeShields onto the field just seconds prior and nearly put this out of reach.
That would have been an entrance, wouldn't it? This is a great ball, so dangerous, behind the back line. It's bending away from the goalkeeper. Just the timing of the header just overran it.
He had the music, and he nearly had the
goal. He was inspired, I think.
He was ready to go.
You can just see the run off the backside. No one marking DeShields. He just gets over the top of it, goes 2 straight down. A lot of frustration coming from him on that one. Even though he's probably come in more to seal the lead and the win, would have been nice to have that goal.
Just about 5 minutes to go here from Highmark Stadium. Good one once again between Pittsburgh and Birmingham. Agadello was lunging for it and couldn't keep it. And now it's turned over. Albert Dikwa. Pass off the mark. Here's Alves. Some pressure here from Pittsburgh. Both of these managers strategically using those substitutions tonight after midweek fixtures. Over the top, Dikwa almost onto it. Cronali stepped in, and Dikwa almost won it back, but a win a throw-in. Good work there. He scored twice, and you can see him pushing for that third.
Yeah, there's some passion there in what he's doing, and the Riverhounds back in that 5-3-2, so they have that defensive formation to try to see out the game, but you can just see the industriousness of Dikwa and Kiza. That helps the Riverhounds. That just allows them to keep them more in this end and eat away at the clock.
Now it's Biasi who's down. Making sure they rolls back onto the field. Might just need a moment. Oof.
Yeah. Give him a little bit of time to recover here.
You're welcome.
Here's Kasim trying to play through the lines and cleared away. This Birmingham side just trying to get things back on the right track. Coming off those 2 straight losses, they've scored 1 goal in each of their last 2 league matches. Conceded 7 in those 2. Tonight would be a 3rd straight loss after they were unbeaten in their opening 5 matches in all competitions. Flag up for offside. Plenty more action coming up in the later slate of matches. Not even midway through our full slate of USL Championship action tonight. Here's Pasher trying to turn the corner, just lost his balance. But this will run out of play. Last off the Riverhounds, a corner kick here for the Legion.
He's got that great left foot. He had a dangerous one early in that first half.
Test Jamali Waite from the corner flag. Pasher, the in-swinger's headed away. And almost a chance to hit this before the Riverhounds do get this clear. Closing in on stoppage time here. Seydou will keep this in play. Now a stoppage with a player down for Pittsburgh. That is Albert Dikwa.
Ooh.
Sounds like 4 minutes of stoppage time. It will be.
Indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes stoppage time at the end of the second half. A minimum of 4 minutes.
Seydou. This will deflect all the way back to Jamali Waite.
And for Birmingham, there's just not enough numbers forward. That long ball service could be good, but there's not many players running at the back line. Maybe one, maybe two. But they've got to commit more numbers forward just for these last few minutes.
Dikwa trying to turn the corner, broken up. It was last off Dikwa. Quick throw incoming for Birmingham, but it's broken up. Bob Lilly talked about wanting to finish this week the right way, take care of the home games. They can get the 3 points here tonight. We will finish off this week with 2 wins and a draw. Probably couldn't write that up any better. Going all the way out west, first game against Monterey Bay in club history. Late start as well. Dikwa's asking for it. And Dikwa will get there if he can chase this down. Great work from Pittsburgh's number 9. He'll go right to the corner where he's fouled.
It just doesn't make sense to foul right there. And yes, there's going to be some delay of game, but just an obvious foul. They can take off even more time off the clock here now that this foul has been committed. But the work of Dikwa, just so incredible. The timing of his running behind the back line and being able to chase this down, you can sense the frustration from the defender, Ravino.
Ravino is into the book as well with the yellow card. The flag is up for offside. It's maybe the last chance for Birmingham tonight. The seconds remain. Pasher scored a late goal at this stadium before. Can he do it again? As this cross comes in, cleared away. Throw in Birmingham, about 30 seconds to go. Pasher, low ball comes in and it's quickly cleared. Birmingham trying to keep this alive. All the way out towards midfield. And now it's pretty much up to the referee's discretion. Ravino lofting it forward. Can they win the second ball? Ronali trying to keep it alive. Still we play on. Enzo Martinez. Broken up by Ordonez. And still we play on. Remember, it's just a minimum of 4. Referee takes a look at his watch. He's content to let it go on as this rolls out of play. Pittsburgh will have a throw-in. Can't be much time left now. And that's all. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds are victorious tonight at Highmark Stadium. 2-1 winners over the Birmingham Legion.
A lot of good things about this game. You keep your top goal scorer on a roll in Albert Dikwa. You finish out a really tight game, and you do it at home in front of all of your fans.
A victorious night along the river here in Pittsburgh. They follow up that big win against New England on Tuesday with another big win over Birmingham here tonight. Our man of the match presented by Heineken. There's no other choice.
It couldn't have been anyone else. Starting the scoring off early in the 11th minute. Just so much variety in the way that he attacks, able to get them on the board 1-0, and then the goal at the end from Blackstock with this service, getting it across to Dikwa. He just gets in front of the ball. You can just see his runs are so good, and he's just so well-timed in everything he does inside the penalty area.
Albert Dikwa leading the league in goal scoring. He's up to 9. He's scored the last 5 goals for Pittsburgh, and he has scored in 3 straight games for the Riverhounds. We will come back and wrap things up from Pittsburgh right after this. It finishes Riverhounds 2, Legion 1.
At AHN, we see you juggling 100 things at once. And slowing down, taking in every moment together. We see you finding time for what's important. And realizing when it's time, you don't have to go far.
Okay, I got you.
At AHN, we see you.
It's 412 Celebrity Night at Highmark Stadium in Station Square. Come out and join former Pittsburgh Pirates catcher Mike Lavariere on Saturday, May 20th for a night of family fun and professional soccer as the Riverhounds host Birmingham.
With Biasi and line, cross it and chest it in!
Up that a Craig. Oh,
Tickets as low as $18. Get yours today at riverhounds.com/tickets.
Back here in Pittsburgh. Well, lost tonight for Birmingham, but don't forget, both of these teams, the last 2 alive in the U.S. Open Cup. Pittsburgh will take on the Columbus Crew. Birmingham will take on Charlotte FC. Those games, both home games for these respective teams as well. As we look back at these 90 minutes with our post-game highlights, and of course, the scoring got started very early on for the Riverhounds, the 11th minute, the first of Dikwa's 2.
And just looking back, Blackstock did really well to get into the attack all game. Started this one, Griffin finding Forbes out on that far side, one-touch ball across. The first goal to break the deadlock was from the center forward, Dikwa, just getting in front of his defender on this run and finishing to the back post.
He's able to put that one away, and first time we see the dance moves. How about 35th minute? Matthew Corcoran, first pro goal, 17 years old.
What a way to introduce yourself to the score sheet. It's just a great finish from the holding midfielder. And then in the 70th minute, some possession down here. The Riverhounds would put a lot of pressure in the second half. They did this for about 5 minutes in a row, and it pays off here as Blackstoff plays it across, and Dikwa just getting the header to go right past Van Oekel.
Remember, that was the 5 minutes after the disallowed Danny Griffin goal, and they really started to put the pressure on, and Dikwa finishes off his brace. Look at the full-time stats and final thoughts.
Well, the Riverhounds definitely got more shots in the second half, getting their total up to 8, and 5 of those on target. I think that's the part that's most impressive from them.
And how about for Birmingham? Only 1 shot in the second half. It's pretty tough to score goals in that sort of fashion. Well, that will do it for our coverage tonight from Highmark Stadium here in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A great week capped off by the Pittsburgh Riverhounds as they take all 3 points against Birmingham Legion. For our entire crew, broadcast partner Casey White, I'm Josh Eastern, saying so long and good night from Pittsburgh.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.